Welcome back to another video. I'm your tech guide Wayne. Today I'll be going over some of my favorite tips and tricks and hidden features on the new Samsung Galaxy A14 and A14 5G. We're going to go over some really fun stuff. Some of it you might know if you've had previous Galaxy phones, and some of it is probably stuff that you've never seen before. So do me a favor, if you come across a tip that you like and that you've never seen before, make sure you hit that like button and leave a comment down below and let me know if you learned something new. I always love to hear about the things I'm sharing and what are things that people tend to know about and things that people tend to not know. So please leave that in the comment section down below, hit that like button, and let's go ahead and jump right in. The first hidden feature I'd like to show is how to run two apps at one time. So for example, let's say you wanted to watch a video and send a text message at the same time. Well, you can do that. We're going to open up YouTube, and basically the process to do this is going to be you opening up a video, or basically pick the app that you want to be at the top of the screen. So in this case, I'd like to have YouTube at the top of the screen. So I already opened up YouTube. I'm going to go back to the home screen, and now I'm going to pick the second app that I want to open at the bottom of the screen, which will be Messages. So I'm going to tap on Messages, hit the home button. Now I'm going to tap on the Recent Apps button here. I'm going to swipe over. I want YouTube to be at the top, so I'm going to go to YouTube first, tap on the little icon at the top here, and tap Open in Split Screen View. That's going to move YouTube to the top of the screen like this. And now I'm going to select Messages, and I can come up to YouTube now here, and I can start this video and let it play. And also, while the video is playing, you can tap the screen and tap on this little icon here to bring it into full screen. And now my video is playing at the top of the screen, and while it plays, I can now go in and look at text messages, and I can send and interact with messaging while I'm watching this video at the top of the screen. So this is just one example of being able to multitask, use two apps at one time. Now, if you tap on the three dots in the center of the screen here, you can actually switch the order, and you can move what's on the bottom on the top and vice versa. So watch this, tap the three dots, tap here, and it'll move the video to the bottom and my text at the top. You can also tap on the three dots and tap on the star, and you can save this to an app. You can basically make this into an app pair and save it to your home screen. So watch this. Tap on home screen. Now, on your home screen, you will have this pop-up, and every time you tap on this pop-up, it'll open those two apps together. So YouTube at the bottom, Messages at the top. Now this is really great for, what I like to use it for is having my Google Maps open and having my YouTube Music open at the same time. That's a good example of an app pairing. Or again, I watch a lot of YouTube, and so the YouTube and messaging combination is one that I use on my personal phone all the time. So that's how you create an app pair with those apps that you've decided to run in the multitasking mode. All right. Now, some of you may have already seen this, but I still want to go over it because I think it's a really helpful tip. And it's when you're watching a YouTube video, it's how to multitask when you're watching just a YouTube video. So watch this. So right now, let's say I select this video and let it play. Now, so the video is playing right now. If I hit the home button, the video is going to continue to play, and it's going to open up in a pop-up or a pop-out screen that will keep the video on the screen, and while it's there, I can do other things on the phone. I can go to Google Chrome, I can go shop on Amazon if I want to. That video is going to keep playing in this little pop-up screen right here. And then I can tap on the screen here, and I can tap on these two arrows to open it back up in full screen. So if you ever want to watch a YouTube video, but you also want to do other things simultaneously, just simply open the YouTube app, find the video you want to play, make sure it's playing, and then hit the home button, and that's how you bring it up into a smaller screen. Now, watch this. If the video is paused and I hit the home button, it's not going to open up YouTube in that little small screen. It's only going to do that if the video is playing first and then I hit the home button. That's how you get it to pop out, and basically how you can multitask while that video is playing and still see it on the screen. Okay, so our next tip is one of my favorites, and this is going to be how to launch the camera from any screen, even if your phone is off or your screen is asleep. So check this out. By tapping the power button twice, this will automatically wake up your phone and take you right to the camera, thus making sure you never miss any important moments. So watch this. Power button, I'm going to press it twice. It's going to turn the phone on and take me right to the camera. So imagine if something important is happening, just grab your phone, power button twice, camera is open and ready to go. Now, this will work if your screen is asleep, and it'll also work if you just happen to be in another app. Maybe you're on a phone call, or maybe you're in Chrome and you're searching something, and then your kid does something special and you want to get a quick picture. Power button twice. It's going to automatically take you to the camera and get you set up and ready to take a picture. So that is called the quick launch camera feature. Now, for those of you that say, oh, that's cool, but you know what? I just don't take a lot of pictures. I would rather be able to do something different when I hit that power button twice. Well, for this next tip, I'm going to show you how to do what's called a remap. And basically, we're going to change what app is going to launch when we double tap the power button. So to do this, we're going to swipe down from the top of the screen, swipe down again, and tap on the power button icon you see at the top. It's going to take you to this screen. Come down to side key settings. From here, we want to change this from quick launch camera to open app. Now, when you tap open app, it's going to say, okay, well, what app do you want it to open? From here, I can go through and say, okay, you know what? When I tap the power button, I would love it if it launched my text messages. Oh, and I picked the wrong app. Let's pick the right app. Messages. Okay, so now when I hit that power button 2 times, guess what? It's not going to launch the camera. It's going to launch my text messages. So you can remap this however you want, whenever you want. All you got to do is, again, swipe down from the top, swipe again, hit the power button, go to side key settings, hit the settings wheel, and just select what app you would like to launch. And for those of you that do a lot with email, you may want to make this your email app as the shortcut. You know, I've heard some people even using their clock as the shortcut, so that at night when they need to set their alarm, they can get to it really easy. So this is, again, just an easy tip that's going to allow you to reprogram that double tap to launch any app that you would like. Now, let's move on to our next tip, which is going to be how to enable and use the one-handed mode feature. Now, this is a big phone, and I have pretty big hands, but still I struggle like trying to reach the top of the screen with one hand. It's not as easy as it should be. So for this reason, setting up the one-handed mode is just a game changer. Swipe down from the top of the screen, tap on the settings wheel in the upper right corner. From here, we're going to, let's see, we want to go to the advanced features and then go to one-handed mode. And first, we're going to just simply turn it on. And then we're going to tap on one-handed mode. Now, there are 2 different ways to use one-handed mode. One way is with a gesture, which I don't really recommend because it doesn't work that great. The second way is with a button, and the button way is just super easy. So all I have to do to launch this one-handed mode is simply tap the home button 2 times like this. This will automatically shrink down my screen and allow me to reach the top of the screen and just make it easier to navigate the phone with one hand. I can also tap this arrow to move the screen to the left. So if you're a left-handed person, you might prefer to have the screen on the left instead of the right. Now, when you're all done with one-handed mode, simply tap on this outer area right here, and that will take you back to the full screen. So really quickly, that is the one-handed mode, and it's super useful. For the next tip, I want to show you how to unlock some secret menus, or maybe secret isn't the right word, but some additional shortcut options you have in the notification panel. So when you swipe down from the top of the screen, you have these 6 switches here. They're, again, shortcuts to just important things that you'll be using on the phones. Obviously Wi-Fi, turning your sound to, vibrate, off or on, Bluetooth, auto rotation. So these are like your main 6. So one, I want to show you, hey, if you swipe down, obviously there's more options you have here, more shortcuts. When you swipe to the left, there's another page of shortcuts, a lot of cool stuff. And when you hit this plus, there's an additional menu with even more shortcuts. And guess what? If any of these look like they're shortcuts that you want to have access to, all you have to do is hold down on it for 1 second and then drag it down. And you can add it to the menu at the bottom. So now whenever you swipe over, you'll have those additional options. Also, I want to show you how to rearrange these top 6, because you could move other switches and put them at the top. So every time you swipe down, you'll see them in the first 6 rows here, or the first 6 options here. So for example, like I don't use the airplane mode option too often. So like I don't need to see that every time I swipe down. I would much rather have, for example, my hotspot, because I use my hotspot a lot. So I'm going to hold down on the hotspot. Oh, let's try it again. So first, I forgot about this. So swipe over, hit the plus. Okay, so now that we've hit the plus, this section is actually in an edit mode, which will allow you to move the switches around. So I'm going to swipe back over to this page, and I'm going to hold down on my hotspot, and I'm going to drag it over, and I want to drag the airplane mode out of the top 6. Again, just count them, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I want to make sure that airplane mode is out of the first 6 so it doesn't show up. Now, the second thing I would want to be in this top 6 here is my GPS, because I like to turn GPS on and off, because I think it's a big battery drainer. So now, let's see, I'm going to pull my auto rotation out of the 6 as well, and I'm going to hit done. And now that I've done that, every time I swipe down from the top, this is my new top 6 notification switches or shortcuts. So that's just a little tip in terms of customizing the phone to really cater it to how you use the phone. Because again, if you don't fly a lot, you don't need to have airplane mode up here. But if you use hotspot, you may want to have a quick shortcut to your hotspot or GPS. So, okay, for the next tip, I want to go over the emergency mode setting, how to use it, how to set it up. It's a really good add-on that Samsung has put in their software, but most people just don't know how to use it, so they don't use it. So I want to make sure you know about it, because it could save your life in a tough situation. So when you hold down on the power button, it'll take you to this screen. You have these 3 options. Restart, you have emergency call. Oh, let's try it again here. So tap on emergency call. And when you get to this section, you can actually set up a few things. So you can add in your medical information. Let's say you're diabetic and you people need to know if, maybe you've like passed out because you haven't had enough sugar, or again, maybe just have a very specific medical condition that people would need to know about in the event of an emergency. You can actually have that information show up in this section. You can have your name and a picture of yourself as well. And you can program emergency numbers in the phone that'll make it easier to dial someone like in a quick situation. What if you're about to faint and you need to hurry up and launch this menu and call someone and say, hey, I need your help. So this is what happens when you tap emergency call. Most people are afraid to tap it because they think if I tap emergency call, it's just going to automatically call 911, and then that's why no one ever opens the menu. But yeah, just tapping it takes you to the emergency call section, and then it gives you access to all these shortcuts. So to set this up, you need to actually go to the settings. So let's swipe down from the top. Let's tap on the settings wheel, and from here we're going to swipe down to safety and emergency. And when we get to this section, these are all the different things you can program into the phone. So for example, medical information. We're going to tap on this section here, and then you can put in everything: your name, condition, allergies, current medications, blood type. Imagine if you're passed out and an EMT person shows up and they have all this important information to make sure they are properly treating you. That is a game changer. So I would encourage you, if you have any type of medical condition, this is definitely something to set up because it could save your life in an emergency. So that's one thing. You have the emergency contacts next, and here you can basically plug in a couple of emergency contacts, and so it says they'll be contacted if you ever start emergency sharing. So if you go into that mode, you can have it automatically trigger calls to all these people, so they would know that you need help. It also says you can also show them on the lock screen for quick access in an emergency. So super helpful there. And you've got a couple other things. So emergency sharing, obviously, this is the feature where once you trigger the emergency mode, you can have it automatically send to your emergency contacts. It'll send your location. It'll start recording on the camera. It'll start recording on the microphone. It'll send out a text. I believe, don't quote me on this one, but I believe it sends out a text message as well to those emergency contacts. So it's a way of basically recording what is happening so that, again, all those emergency contacts know what's going on, and hopefully when they get to you, they can, properly treat you. So this is a great section. I definitely think everyone should set this up, especially if you have a condition. It just makes sense, and it's a really awesome add-on that Samsung has included in their phone. For the next tip, I want to show you how to set up parental controls. If you're setting this phone up for a younger person and you'd like to limit the amount of content that they see or how often they can use the phone, you'll want to do that in the settings. We're going to swipe down from the top of the screen. We're going to tap on the settings wheel, and you want to go to the digital well-being and parental controls section. Swipe up and go to parental controls, and here we're going to be setting up a feature called the Google Family Link, which will allow you to basically monitor and supervise anything that's happening on this phone. You can monitor it from your phone, and the cool thing is this actually works with Androids, and it works with iPhones. So you can install this feature, and then you can, set limits on how often they can use their phone. So screen time limits. You can add restrictions in terms of the apps they can download. And I believe there's a feature where you can have it trigger for you to approve if they want to download a new app. So I have a separate video on the Google Family Link and how awesome it is. So I will leave a link for that right here. So if you want to check out the full video of kind of what that app does. But this is kind of the basics of how you would get started setting up parental controls to kind of limit what your kids are able to do with the phone. Okay, and for our last tip, I want to show you a cool app that it doesn't come on every single A14. This is sort of limited based on where you live and where you've purchased the phone, but most of these phones will come with an app called Samsung Free. And Samsung Free is a TV service. It's a free TV service where you can actually watch hundreds of free channels that basically Samsung has set up through different partnerships. And so let's just go in here and approve the terms. And now you can go in here, and so you can get news, you can go to watch and get like this full array of channels. I love the Samsung free app because I just love the show Wildin' Out. And so they have a channel that is like Wildin' Out 24/7. You can watch, shows all day if you wanted to. So you can go through here, and there's all these different categories of channels: news and opinion, entertainment, crime, game shows. It's great, and it's free. And so again, depending on where you've purchased your phone, this should be installed on most models, but I have heard that not every model gets it. So just an FYI there. Now let's hit the, they just added, this is actually new here. They've added some games, so you can download some cool games in here as well. And there is a listen section where they have access to podcasts, also a new thing that they didn't previously have last year. So just a lot of great content in here that is completely free, which is awesome. Now there's another cool shortcut that goes along with this. When you hit the home button here, I'm going to show you this little trick. So right now, if I swipe to the right, it's taking me to this Google search page, right? Okay, every time I'm on the home screen, I swipe to the right, Google search page. If I hold down the home screen and I swipe over, I can select Samsung Free to show up instead of this Google Discover page. And now, if I'm on the home screen, all I have to do is swipe to the right and it will take me to Samsung Free. And now I can basically watch TV. I can access the news, podcasts, or the games. It's easier to get to it now just from that swiping right on the home screen. So that's a cool tweak I would encourage you to make if you'd love to check out their free TV service. If you don't have it on yours, I'm sorry, that definitely sucks. But for those of you that have it, I will take advantage of it. It's a really fun and cool app. So this brings us to the end of our video. I hope this video was helpful. I have a couple of asks for you guys that have gotten to the end of the video. First of all, thank you for watching all the way to the end. If you can hit that like button down below, that really helps me as a creator. Obviously, I'm producing this content for free, and when you like it and you comment, it actually helps the video to be shared to a lot more people and grows the reach, and then I make a couple extra dollars on the ad. So I appreciate you hitting the like button down below. Second, in the comment section, can you do two things for me? One, tell me what tip was your favorite. I always love to hear what tip was either your favorite or what was something new that you had never heard of that you're excited to try. Tell me that. And if there is if you have a favorite tip that you do that I didn't mention in the video, leave it in the comment down below. And you know what? If we get enough people that add really cool additional tips, we'll make a part 2 of this video so that there will be just more information we can share. The goal of this channel and what I just aspire to do is just to teach people how to use phones and all the things that they are able to do on their phone. So by you sharing your favorite tips, I can put that in a new video and we can share that to more people and just help them really have a great experience using this phone. So thank you in advance for that. If you're not already a subscriber, hit that subscribe button and stay tuned for more videos. Take care, and as always, have a good one.